What makes a movie really great? Film lovers love to argue about that, but some movies are truly great. Today I am going to talk about top 10 best movies of all time. In this list, we carefully chose and ranked the best movies ever made. It's not just any ranking list. It was made by movie experts, famous film reviewers, and fans like you. Number 10. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. A monumental Italian spaghetti western directed by Sergio Leone, featuring Clint Eastwood as the good, Lee Van Cleef as the bad, and Eli Wallach as the ugly. Renowned for Leone's expansive long shots and intimate close-ups, the film also distinguishes itself with its unique portrayal of violence, suspense, and elaborately choreographed gun battles. The narrative centers on a trio of gunslingers vying to uncover a hidden treasure of Confederate gold amidst the tumultuous backdrop of the American Civil War, particularly during the 1862 Battle of Glorieta Pass in the New Mexico Campaign, engaging in numerous skirmishes, standoffs, and duels. The movie achieved commercial triumph, amassing over $38 million globally, and is acknowledged for propelling Eastwood to fame. Number 9. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. A 2001 grand fantasy adventure directed by Peter Jackson, adapted from J.R.R. Tolkien's 1954 novel, The Fellowship of the Ring, the inaugural volume of The Lord of the Rings. As the first chapter of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it showcases a stellar ensemble cast including Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, Sean Astin, Cate Blanchett, John Rhys Davies, Billy Boyd, Dominic Monaghan, Orlando Bloom, Christopher Lee, Hugo Weaving, Sean Bean, Ian Holm, and Andy Serkis. Debuting on December 10, 2001, at London's Odeon Leicester Square, it was subsequently released on December 19 in the United States and December 20 in New Zealand. The film garnered critical and audience acclaim, hailed as a filmmaking milestone and a triumph in the fantasy genre. It amassed over $880 million worldwide during its initial run, ranking as the second top-grossing film of 2001 and the fifth highest of all time upon its release. The film earned a multitude of honors, securing 13 nominations at the 74th Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and winning awards for Best Cinematography, Best Makeup, Best Original Score, and Best Visual Effects. Number 8. Pulp Fiction, a narrative crafted and helmed by Quentin Tarantino, starring John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth, Ving Rhames, and Uma Thurman. It weaves multiple tales of criminal exploits in Los Angeles, California. The film's title nods to the pulp periodicals and gritty crime stories that were prevalent in the mid-20th century, celebrated for their vivid violence and snappy repartee. Pulp Fiction clinched the Palme d'Or at the 1994 Cannes Film Festival and emerged as a significant artistic and financial hit. At the 67th Academy Awards, it garnered 7 nominations, including Best Picture, and triumphed with the Best Original Screenplay award. The film is often hailed as Tarantino's crowning achievement, especially lauded for its script writing. It's seen as a cultural touchstone, setting a precedent for subsequent films and other forms of media that embraced its stylistic elements. The performances of the cast, particularly Travolta, Thurman, and Jackson, received widespread praise. Number 7. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. An epic fantasy action film directed by Peter Jackson. This movie is the final installment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, adapted from J.R.R. Tolkien's 1955 novel of the same name. Following The Two Towers released in 2002, it concludes the series. Upon release, it garnered over $1.1 billion worldwide, becoming the highest-grossing film of 2003 and the second highest of all time at that point. It also marked the pinnacle of success for New Line Cinema. The Return of the King is often hailed as a cinematic landmark, akin to its predecessors in the trilogy. It swept the 76th Academy Awards, winning all 11 categories it was nominated for, including Best Picture, equating the record held by Ben-Hur and Titanic for the most Oscars won. Number 6. Schindler's List. Adapted from Thomas Keneally's 1982 novel Schindler's Ark, This historical movie, directed and produced by Steven Spielberg, with a screenplay by Steven Zaillian, chronicles the life of Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist who saved over 1,000 Polish Jewish refugees from the Holocaust. Liam Neeson portrays Schindler, with Ralph Fiennes as SS officer Amon Guth and Ben Kingsley as Schindler's Jewish accountant, Itzhak Stern. The film received universal acclaim for its narrative, performances, notably those of Neeson, Fiennes, and Kingsley, atmospheric direction, and Spielberg's sensitive handling of the subject matter. It's frequently cited as one of the greatest films ever crafted. Commercially, it was a hit, earning $322 million globally against a $22 million budget. At the Oscars, it secured 7 awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Original Score out of 12 nominations. Additionally, it claimed numerous other accolades, including 7 BAFTAs and 3 Golden Globes. Number 5. 12 Angry Men. A quintessential American courtroom movie directed by Sidney Lumet. This film delves into the deliberations of 12 jurors tasked with determining the guilt or innocence of a teenager accused of murder. Starring Henry Fonda, Lee J. Cobb, Ed Begley, E.G. Marshall, and Jack Warden, the film explores the complexities of consensus building and the intense dynamics that unfold among the jurors, each bringing their unique perspective to the fore. Selected by the American Film Institute for their AFI's 10 Top 10 list, 12 Angry Men is ranked as the second best courtroom movie ever, just behind To Kill a Mockingbird. Number 4. The Godfather Part II. A seminal work in American cinema, The Godfather Part II is both a sequel and a prequel to the 1972 film The Godfather, co-written by Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo, based on Puzo's novel. The film received an astounding 11 Academy Awards nominations and won 6, including Best Picture, making it the first sequel to achieve this feat. Coppola was awarded Best Director, De Niro won Best Supporting Actor, and the Best Adapted Screenplay went to Coppola and Puzo. Al Pacino was also nominated for Best Actor at both the BAFTAs and the Oscars. Regarded as a masterpiece in the crime genre, The Godfather Part II is often considered one of the greatest films of all time and is noted for being one of the rare sequels that may surpass its original. Number 3. The Dark Knight. A 2008 superhero epic directed by Christopher Nolan, co-written with his brother Jonathan, based on the DC Comics character Batman. It's the sequel to Batman Begins, 2005, and the second part of the Dark Knight trilogy. The story tracks Batman, Police Lieutenant James Gordon, and District Attorney Harvey Dent as they unite to eradicate organized crime in Gotham City. The Dark Knight was lauded for its sophisticated themes, visual flair, and performances, especially Heath Ledger's, which earned him multiple posthumous awards, including Academy, BAFTA, and Golden Globe Awards for Best Supporting Actor. It set new box office records, becoming the top-grossing film of 2008, the fourth highest at the time, and the highest-grossing superhero movie. It's seen as a template for contemporary superhero movies, particularly for its departure from the conventional comic book style towards a crime movie featuring comic book characters. Number 2. The Godfather. Helmed by Francis Ford Coppola, this cinematic masterpiece stars Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and a stellar ensemble cast. The first in the Godfather trilogy, it narrates the saga of the Corleone family under Vito Corleone from 1945 to 1955, focusing on Michael Corleone's transformation from a hesitant outsider to a formidable mafia leader. The Godfather premiered in March 1972 and quickly became the highest-grossing film of the year, later earning a reputation as one of the highest-grossing films ever, with box office earnings between $250 and $291 million. Critics and audiences universally praised the film, especially the performances of Brando and Pacino, its direction, screenplay, and authentic portrayal of the mafia. At the 45th Academy Awards, it won Best Picture, Best Actor for Brando, and Best Adapted Screenplay, among other nominations. Number 1. The Shawshank Redemption. An American movie directed by Frank Darabont, based on Stephen King's novella, it chronicles the life of banker Andy DeFreston, sentenced to life in Shawshank State Penitentiary for a crime he claims he didn't commit. Over 2 decades, he forms a bond with fellow inmate Ellis Red Redding and becomes involved in a money laundering operation led by the prison warden. Despite critical acclaim, particularly for Robbins and Freeman's performances, it was initially a box office underperformer, earning just $16 million. However, it later received several Academy Award nominations and saw a box office increase to $73.3 million with international releases. Years after its release, The Shawshank Redemption remains widely viewed and cherished, often cited as an inspirational favorite and recognized as one of the most beloved films in cinema history. And that's a wrap on our cinematic journey. If you enjoyed this voyage through the annals of film history, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe to join our community, and don't forget to comment below with your own favorite movies.